What's going on, everyone? This is Adam Craig with Grandstand Golf. In this show, we're talking the ZOZO Championship Round 1 recap. Craig, when you look at the leaderboard after day one, what are your first thoughts?
Well, I mean, first off, to me, it's such a dramatically different leaderboard than it was an hour or two before the rounds ended, because, you know, Justin Thomas is such a big name to come flying up that board with a back 929, I think it was. To get to -7. So, you know, I think if I'm everyone else around there, that's a very notable thing. It'll be interesting to me, like, you know, with the late Thursday, early Friday start, it's always interesting to see, especially when you have that momentum at the end of the round, whether that can carry over. So, you know, as they start out, that'll be something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I mean, he's such a solid player. It seems like he was just motivated on that back nine. I wouldn't be surprised if he just continued it into Friday morning. Yeah,
and I mean, it sounded like he was pretty patient, you know, through the front nine. He said he knew there's lots of birdies out there. He you know, he had missed a couple of putts, and so he knew opportunities were to come. Made a nice eagle putt. I don't know if you saw that one, but I don't think there's any.
I mean, it was only from 10 feet. He like you say, trees are 90% air. He kind of clipped the tree, went down. He had 10 feet in front of the hole for birdie or for eagle.
And that was a pretty volatile hole too, because it was par 5 coming in with a bank with a lot of heavy rough, short-sided. So the difference between getting short-sided in that long stuff and landing right where he did is just a huge swing. Other than that, you know, Sebastian Munoz, he's someone that we brought up on the podcast last week and we'd mentioned on Twitch this week.
I was going to say, I think we brought him up Wednesday night on Twitch. He gets no respect.
Yeah, and he's been getting results, you know, and still doesn't seem to be getting any respect for it. And, you know, one of the things that this is sort of what he does sometimes, though, like it was either the Northern Trust or the BMW when he came scorching out of the gates, shot like 7 under through his first 7 holes, and then just, you know, sort of was around there the rest of the tournament. So that's the one thing.
I think he's breaking through right now. I mean, it's been a month-long kind of progression of his career, and he's got his win. But it is harder to maintain that for 4 days. I think you start to learn that in your career with continued success, that to carry that through 4 days is hard.
Well, and it's just the variability of golf, you know, like the people, it shows how good the Rahms and the JTs and the Xander, like the people who are doing this every round, they're usually gaining a few strokes on the field. I don't know if you caught his interview, but he just seems to have such a good mentality too.
I missed it. No.
So just, you know, he made a bogey. He three putted for bogey, I think, from a place he shouldn't have 3-putt from. And he said, you know, like, we'll just keep going and take it as it comes, and it just kept coming to him.
Nice. Tyrrell Hatton, 7 under as well, tied with JT. He's in second as well. He was your pick to win and your one and done. I think Kevin also picked him.
Now.
So what did you see? Do you think it's just going to continue on from here? I mean, he's been playing great golf.
Yeah. So, you know, this is his third 65 in 5 rounds since the start of the CJ Cup. So
wow.
You know, he's throwing daggers. He is making putts. I would love what I see. You know, we were talking about this earlier this week. He does seem like one of these guys that can get not streaky in a round or a tournament even, but like he'll go on months streaks. Almost where he'll be competitive every week, and it just looks like he's in the middle of that right now.
Yeah, I mean, he seems like everything's clicking. He's good he's good in every aspect, every strokes gained aspect right now. Putting around the green, approach off the tee, it's all positive.
Yeah, he seems to have the mentality of someone who is a competitor and is a winner. And so I know that I wouldn't want to be competing against him, because you never know when he's just going to, you know, throw the next 3 holes, he's going to throw it to 5 feet and make birdies. I'm excited to see him up there.
He did tease in his post-round interview that he might whip out the hoodie if it gets cold enough in LA. So watch out for that. It might be hoodie golf.
It's his new profile pic too.
I love it.
Yeah.
So we have a cluster at 6 under as well. Some names: Harman, Griffin, Kisner, English, Fratelli. What are your kind of thoughts on that cluster right there?
Yeah, so I mean, these guys are all two back. I think Harris English obviously stands out a bit to me.
Okay.
Lonto Griffin too. It's been 2 weeks in a row that he's been
Yeah.
competing, and I like his game. I think it's well suited to this course. So, yeah, I mean, I like a lot of these guys. I'm always bringing up Brian Harman. I love
Yeah,
that.
he's one of your boys for sure. English did seem to have a lot of it by his putting stroke, so I think that's maybe cause for concern. The guy, I mean, the guy I'm looking at this group. It's Kevin Kisner.
Well, yeah, Kisner
He's one of my
was your sleeper going into this, so you're feeling good.
he was my sleeper. I talked about him on our sleeper YouTube show. So the interesting with Kisner, as I was kind of diving into his round, so he had 8 birdies, so he was scoring really well, and he had 2 bogeys, but he lost a stroke off the tee. He only hit 50%, 53% of fairways. So, I mean, there's still better scoring out there for him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Kisner's just a competitor. The one thing I don't know if I have less faith in Kisner maybe to win it. I think that he's going to continue to hang around near the top of the leaderboard. Yeah. He just doesn't seem to me like someone who's going to go out and win in this kind of field.
But it would really surprise me if he blew up. Like if he dropped to outside 40 or outside 30. Mm-hmm. I would be surprised.
Yeah, a couple notables. So we've got a leader at 8 is Munoz, and then we've got Hatton and JT at 7, and then at 6 the cluster, and then there's a bunch at 5. But a couple guys stand out to me there. Mackenzie Hughes, our Canadian boy. Love to see him up there. With his putting stroke, he's so dangerous.
We thought this course might be a good fit for him as well. So.
Yeah, I mean, more realistically, I think Patrick Cantlay is someone to watch out for. I didn't get to, he played early, so I didn't get to see. I didn't get to see any of his round. But Scottie Scheffler as well. He's someone.
Well, I think they're pretty comparable, actually. We both wanted to see something from both Cantlay and Scheffler. Scheffler coming off of COVID, and Cantlay just coming off a colder part of his career. We wanted to see something first, right? And I think round 1 we saw good things from them.
Yeah. The scary thing to me too, when you're -5, like Scottie Scheffler lost strokes putting, so that's scary for the field, because if he's hitting the ball that way, he can go crazy low when he is rolling putts in and hitting the ball well. So if he hits the ball well again tomorrow and his putter gets a little bit hotter, he could easily be the one who vaults into first.
Yeah. Okay, Craig, so your boy, Rory, we're on 18. He hits his drive to the right. It hits a tree, I think, pretty solid in the trunk.
So did you see the overhead view of that?
I did, yes.
I was like, how did that come back at that angle? Like, that's absurd.
Crazy. He kicks it out to the fairway. He has an easy approach shot, and then I think he just ended up...
So sorry, he had to punch over into the fairway.
Right.
Yeah.
His third shot didn't go as he planned. Put a little bit of extra strength into his club as he was walking out of it, and ended up snapping his club. A little bit of anger there. It's been a tough go. I think personally, he's having a great year. Professionally, maybe not. What are your thoughts on that? Just kind of boiled over?
Yeah, I mean, totally boiled over. I mean, we have seen a few things like this from Rory over the course of his career. It's been a while. He seems like he's a much more mature person, and you don't kind of expect this from him. Yeah. That said, I think that obviously there's a huge level of frustration. I think it's so specifically associated. I mean, first off, bad breaks, bad play, it all kind of accumulates, and you've gone through 18 holes of this, and I think it's a little bit specifically associated with his approach ball striking too. Yeah. It's the same thing that there's been question marks about over the past few months, and we usually expect a fairly high level from Rory there, and I think he expects an even higher level himself. I think it's less. I think so much of it is that he is trying to get his game tuned up to that level going into Augusta. That he's just it's just pure. Like, you're disgusted with yourself that you're making this mistake, or
Honestly, I like to see the emotion a little bit from Rory. He is such a competitor. He's talked. I mean, obviously he's had a complicated year with the birth of his first
I think
child.
everyone's had a complicated year.
Everyone's had a complicated year. But he's openly admitted that he misses the crowds. I mean, we've seen him in Ryder Cups. You know, he's like egging on the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
He loves those moments, and I feel like it's just been hard for him to artificially manufacture that. And
he has
and so
seemed
he has
more
been,
flat than other people.
yeah. So he's one of the guys. I mean, because I love to see him play well. He's one of those guys. I can't wait for things to come back to normal whenever that does happen. And I think he will come back to his normal, which is the best in the world.
Yeah, well, and I think, so to me, that's a little bit why it happened after that shot, because I watched his pre-tournament interview, and he was talking about his approach play and his iron play as being the thing that he is putting the work into right now, because he felt other than that, his game was in a pretty good place. And so you push, I don't know what it was, a push or a fan or what it was, but it just was like, it got sloppy out to the right. And like it's the type of thing that this is the thing that you haven't been doing well, and then you don't do it well when you're already frustrated for so many reasons. And
so exact same hole, exact same approach. Jon Rahm is hitting into the 18th green and just sprays it.
Yeah.
Way to the right. I mean, you've seen me hit that shot thousands of times, but
yeah, well, and they're making the case that it's a side hill, feet above the ball. Grabs the heel. It's a shank. Like you can color it however you want it, but yeah.
It reminded me of, I think it was Henrik Stenson in the Open a year ago, 2 years ago, recently, where he just shanked it, and people were like, "What? Like, you don't see that happen."
You don't see that from pro golf. Well, Rahm's had a few now. Rahm's developing a bit of a reputation for throwing the shank in there every once in a while. Yeah, I don't know. I get a sick pleasure out of it.
Yeah.
And he still, I don't know if you saw the rest of it, but he punched back out and then put her tight and made his bogey. So
I actually didn't. I saw he made bogey, but I didn't see how he got there. So I mean, that's what we talk about. These guys limit their mistakes.
Well, that's the thing. That's the difference. I'm making triple from there.
Yeah, just put a snowman down for me when that happens. The other thing I kind of noticed that I thought was kind of funny today was, or it's not funny, but it's a sad situation that Jordan Spieth doesn't have his regular caddy, sudden death in his family. So his father's on his bag. I don't think he's used to it. Probably hasn't been on his bag since he's been a kid.
For a while,
I don't even know when. Yeah. But apparently his story, Spieth was saying after the round that as he is lining up for one of his shots, his dad said, "Yeah, just don't overdo it." And he's like, "No, Dad, you can't give negative thoughts right as I'm lining up for my shot."
Yeah, just don't shake it.
I mean, I think we played with our dad enough times where it's like,
oh, he's doing that intentionally to mess with us. Yeah, like, or the downhill putt that you have that you're not going to leave short, and he'll just don't leave her short, and then you pound it so you got a 6-footer coming back the other way. Maybe I think Spieth is kind of turning around. I hope so. I just thought that was a kind of a funny instance for his round. The other thing, okay, you're on Twitter this morning. I know you're a little bit fired up, Craig. Golf TV went dark on the international viewers. Yeah, so for everyone in the States, this you probably totally missed this, but Golf TV is essentially our PGA Tour live. They do the feature groups before coverage starts.
And it's a monopoly,
and throughout the day. There's no one else you can get it from except through Golf TV streaming. So it seems to be a bit of a trend now when Tiger's playing in a tournament that the service crashes. There's more people accessing it than it can handle, and the thing just goes down. You can't. So like all morning, it's telling me that I put in my login information wrong, and it's like, this is once you could finally get it to load. It just, so yeah, I could go off about how frustrated I was, but it just to me is they're gonna lose so many subscribers. They're gonna lose so much money if they can't properly anticipate what their server loads are going to be when Tiger's playing. Then what's your service about,
It's kind of ridiculous. I think everyone in the golf world, everyone outside knows that there's a Tiger bump when he's playing in a tournament. I mean, it's just going to bring in a whole nother kind of group of fans that might not necessarily watch it, or Thursday at work and they just kind of have it on in the background.
Yeah. Well, and golf is one of those things. I used to have golf on in lectures. Like, you can have golf on in the background because it's so quiet, it's so mellow, it's so slow.
It's a great background watch.
Yeah. And I mean, let alone have a nap on the couch watch, but that's another thing.
Okay. So Tiger, we didn't see the whole round, but he finished.
So the notables, 4? We'll start with Tiger.
We'll start with Tiger.
So yeah, everyone's hyping him up going into this tournament. He's a defending champ. His record at the course is unbelievable. 12 starts, 5 wins, 5 seconds.
5 seconds. He was my one and done pick, and I
tried to warn you that you could, any course Tiger goes to, you can look at his course history and it's going to be glowing, you know?
Yeah. Okay. So I was thinking we have 50 tournaments. I want to use Tiger at some point. I think it's less risky career to use him in a no cut event. Clearly he likes his course. Let me use him for one and done here. I mean, I think he can, personally, I think he can still claw into a top 40, maybe even better than that, but it's going to be a struggle.
His ball striking, like if he was hitting the ball okay and he was, you know, just being sloppy elsewhere and it could tighten up, but it's off the tee, it's his approach, like it's ball striking, and that's hard to.
He lost 5 strokes tee to green, 3 on approach, 2 off the tee.
I'm pretty sure it's his worst total ball striking round that people have seen in the strokes gained era. So like, it's just shocking how his game is at right now.
I mean, I don't think he's going to turn it on and get 600 tomorrow, but I think he can make enough tweaks. I know that when you pick
a guy and you're one and done, you're just trying to rationalize the angles that he's going to move up the leaderboard. But yeah, I mean, other notables aside from Tiger, I mean, I just don't think. I think Tiger. I think they're going to continue to try to make Tiger the story this weekend. I just don't think he's going to be. You know.
Yeah, I agree. Oh yeah.
I think there are some notables that still are extremely relevant.
Yeah.
Jon Rahm, we've got it at -4, even with the shank.
Yeah. I mean, I like everything I see from Rahm except for that one shank. I think he's kind of sneaky right now because
he's at the place where like he's far enough down the leaderboard that you're not paying a ton of attention to him down at -4. But Friday, Saturday could totally change that. Yeah. Xander at -3. Actually, so Xander, Matthew, Wolff, and Webb are all at -3, which I think are all of them have the potential to do something here.
So Xander had a triple bogey on 4, I think the par 4 fourth. So that's an asterisk on his round right there. I think he played a lot better than 3 under.
So once GolfTV wasn't working, I decided to make the most of a nice fall day and went out and raked my yard, turned on PGA radio, and so I was listening to the round, and it sounded like Xander was playing great. And then
really
until
steady,
that mistake, right? He really was. He you know, fairways, greens, putt, like he was just taking advantage of the course, or not, you know, not taking a crazy amount of advantage, but just exactly what the course is presenting to you. He was taking what was there. Yeah. But yeah, I think he continues to be dangerous. Over the past 5 rounds, he's been right there.
And you mentioned Wolff and Webb. I think Wolff really needs to start limiting his mistakes. He had 2 bogeys and a double. He also drove the green on the par 4 10th. It's just eagles and double. Like, he needs to find a safer floor, I think, with right now.
Well, having picked him last week in the one and done, I'd be pretty happy with this -3 he put up. He's volatile, that's for sure. So he could continue to go low, but he has to eliminate some of those mistakes. Yeah,
and Webb, I think he's steady. I think he'll improve on his 3 under. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, I think Webb can, if Webb, you know, just gets a little bit hotter, I think he could be a real player in this tournament, like a real threat. He needs a few things he needs a few putts to fall. He just needs a little bit more than what he had today, because I mean, -3, that's almost where the average is.
Yeah.
it's not too far from the scoring average.
Yeah, so scoring average was just under 2 under, 2.14. It seemed pretty split on front and back. Weather looks pretty good for tomorrow. Any thoughts kind of heading into Friday, Craig?
Yeah, I don't know the course well enough to know about pin locations, to know, whether those were a bunch of the easier ones or whether we're going to expect things to be much harder in terms of course setup. Weather, maybe slight wind in the afternoon just as compared to the morning, but it's not like it's going to be significant, I don't think. So I think his scoring's going to continue. I mean, there's no reason to think otherwise.
Yeah, I don't think it's unrealistic for us to think that the winning score is going to be in the 20s or multiple scores in the 20s at 20 under.
I would so maybe you can timestamp this. I would say it's going to be under 20 at this point. I think
I'll take the over, I guess.
I thought 5 par 5s. You always, the scores continue to go low when you've got so many scoring chances. But the thing is, like, so I actually quite like the course because there's a lot of risk reward, and it's giving opportunities to score, but there's also a lot of ways to make bogeys and make doubles.
I agree.
And so it's a matter of if the people who are scoring can avoid those ugly numbers. If a few people just continue to go low without making any mistakes, then I could see it getting above 20.
Yeah, I completely agree. Thank you everybody for watching. That was our round 1 recap. If you're into PGA DFS, we'll be dropping a showdown video for Friday as well. So make sure to check that out on our channel. And everything that we do is push out on our Twitter account at Grandstand Golf.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Take care.